Hey, what's up everybody? It's your boy Hugh here from Korea. If you watch my first announcement video about Kandao just released the brand new stitching feature called depth-based stitching and allow you to export depth map. On the second part, people kind of confused like, okay, now I can export depth map, but how can I actually utilize it in my current workflow? So I want to clear some confusion here. People like got so excited, say, hooray, now we have depth map output from the Kandao Obsidian Go. Or for some people like don't have the Kandao, but they, let's say they have the GoPro Odyssey and they have the E-Halo, or they have the Jar, they have the Ozo, they also have depth map. But what really is depth map, man? How can you actually utilize it? Depth map doesn't equal to you can just do 6 degrees of freedom immediately. That is just a foundation to do 6 degrees of freedom. We are actually waiting. I mean, until Adobe and Mettle and Facebook work together and figure out how to like create that a magical plugin to utilize depth information to create a 6 degrees of freedom. Why now? It's just not there. So why now at the time of recording, Mettle haven't released any plugin yet to utilize depth information. So unfortunately, there's no 6 degrees of freedom, even you have depth map from your Obsidian camera. How can I utilize depth map? So that is this whole tutorial video. I will try to show you. Again, I want to make a disclaimer, I am not a special effect artist. I would just use my understanding to try to explain as much as possible to you, so you understand like what is that DXR file, is that Maya file, is that 3D Max file, and how can I use it, and where is my footage, like all this confusion. So I just want to like clear the confusion, let you know what you actually get right now from the Kandao Obsidian camera, the depth information. In conclusion, if you don't want to watch this long explain video tutorial, if you are just a 360 videographer and you have no experience in any post-production, this is basically useless for you. I mean, great, you have that map, you get your money worth for your camera, but you cannot really use it because you don't know how to use it. So you can just stop watching this video and move on until Mettle come up with their fancy plugin, then you can actually use the information without you doing the work. For VFX effect artists, still want to figure out like how you can play around with 360 stereoscopic footage with the depth map information to do some compositing and create some special effect. Okay, continue watch this and I do my best to explain the whole workflow. So, as you see right here, it's a Kandao Studio. You import the footage just as usual. You should know already how to do that. How to actually output the depth map information is right here in the stitching mode. Right here, pick the depth mode. So Kandao is doing the calculation depth mode. So now we switch in the depth mode. One cool thing about that meter thing, the distant meter thing is disappeared. So with depth mode, Kandao Studio just intelligently help you to figure out the depth information of the camera of your scene, and you don't need to figure out to adjust that slider anymore to figure out how to like achieve the perfect stitch. So this is great. I mean, the stitch is amazing with the brand new like depth-based stitching. But again, you don't need to know the theory behind it. You just know it works. Great. But now you want to explore depth map for whatever reason. So you see the output here and the type. There's a bunch of type. This is the brand new one, the EXR file. And then you stop and say, what is EXR file? That is the depth map file. It's a common file then used on 3D artists. So again, Wikipedia it, Google it, figure out what is EXR file if you don't know what it is. But that is the output you need to do. And for Kandao Studio, they combine the depth information and the final stitch into one EXR file. Well, it's not one EXR file, it's like one frame, one file. So I'll show you the actual final output so you get an idea of what is the final output. Okay, here is my first output, and as you see, I got a bunch of like file. This EXR file is like a PNG image sequence. If you think like that, that's exactly correct. What you get is like a PNG image sequence. It's not a one giant MOV file. Which is actually a great thing. Kandao do that because this allows you to retain the highest possible resolution of the file. It's no compression of your video file, but at the same time, we retain the information then for like special effect artists can actually extract the information and utilized in their effect generation and compositing. So immediately question is like, for people who don't know anything about like special effect or Maya 3D Max, whatnot, how can I open this file? Because you cannot open EXR file in Premiere, and if you open it in After Effects, all you see is black. You don't see your footage. Then you're like, where is my footage? Kandao, this thing is not working. Well, actually it's working. You just don't know how to extract the information correctly. So this is the first step to teach you how to actually extract your stitch and your depth map information separately. Because again, this is just a beta. I mean, they just released this like, well, actually, why at the time of recording, they actually haven't officially released the depth map feature yet. It's releasing tomorrow, so this is still in beta. So the software is pretty slow in a way that it's just a lot of calculation. You need to have a pretty crazy graphic card to do this job. If you don't even have a PC, have a powerful enough GPU card, just forget about that map. Just stick with your old workflow. In the future version, Kandao will make this faster, but right now it's still in beta, so just bear with them. So in here again, I only want to just output like maybe 1 second, so you don't need to sit through the waiting for the render. So you can actually see the effect. Go ahead and pick 3D mode, differentiate. Let's make the resolution smaller, like that. It's good. Make sure to click that. Output is EXR file, and just go ahead and hit stitch. Okay, now the render is done. Let's go to the render folder. So now the render is done. So it output this folder and this 25 frame for 1 second, which make perfect sense. Oh, 26. So that is the EXR files. So now you need to open that in After Effects, guys, not Premiere. You have to open it in After Effects. So go ahead and open After Effects, and After Effects is already open here. Input those files. Go ahead and go to this folder, and here make sure that you click the first one and check open EX file sequence. So you want to open all of them. So make sure to click the 001, the first one, and open it as a sequence. So go ahead and import them. The file's right here. So let's just rename it so you know what's going on. That is my try to, so I'll just say try to. And then drag that into the composition icon and create a new composition right here. So as you see right now, let's just make it fit quarter, and that is just a square black file. You don't see anything, so you might surprise like, where is my footage? So now you're confused, you're angry. You say, oh, this is not working. Don't get angry yet. It's there. You just need to extract them. So the step one is go ahead and extract the information, two information, the stitch and the depth map. So go ahead and find the effects right here and pick 3D channel. What you need is extractor with the R. And right here, double click the alpha. And then you see a layer. See, there's two layers here. You want a stitch layer first, and then RGB, and then alpha, just copy and hit OK. Boom, now you see your footage. Great, my footage is right here. Amazing. So now we have the footage. Now we need the depth map. So we go ahead and just duplicate this. Control D duplicate. And now for this one, I need the depth information. So go ahead and hit the depth. In here, RGB or pick depth information. And make sure your alpha, just hit copy. And hit OK. And now you have a depth information, but something really weird happened here that just happened in particular case for Obsidian depth footage is you only see white and black. So black is basically a tripod, so it's really close to the camera, and white is basically infinity. So that's not right. I want to see the depth information, so I want to see that gradients map. So in order to achieve that, you actually need to adjust here. So go ahead and pick Y to 20. If you put that, bam, you see that information already. If you hide this, it's actually correct. So because this is actually close to me, and this metal thing is actually close to the camera. So it's actually correct that it's close to the camera, so that it should be dark color. So great, now we have our depth map. So yeah, so your job is done. So we have the map. How can you do with the map? That probably your next question. Well, you can do a lot of things with the map if you're a special effect artist. I just try to give you some example, that common thing that you would do before you have that fancy Mettle plugin. But before that, you might have the questions like, what is this? This is amazing, this is dope. I can pan around and look at my 360 footage, but if you double click it, it turns into a ball. So if people wondering what am I using here, I'm actually using Mettle Mantra, which is one of my favorite preview thingy I use to preview my Stereoscopic 360. So you can pick mono and stereo. If you wonder how I can put this window up, it's just right here under preference, under video preview, sorry. Make sure you pick the Mettle Globe preview. Well, again, you have to purchase a Mantra in order to have that option. So yeah, but if you purchase them, that's how you open them. So go to Window, Extension, make sure the Mettle Globe preview is checked, so you have this fancy view. So you just look around where you want to look at the sky. Go to the sky, double click, go in the sky. It's pretty cool. Right here, this view, that's my bridge view. But let's go back to my view because that is the closest object of the camera. So now you have the preview. Now you can easily see what's going on. So this is stereoscopic footage right here, as you see. And now I want to use a depth map. So one of the common things you can use for depth map is actually create depth of field. That is just, let's say that if you are not shooting in a 360 camera, you shot in DSLR or traditional camera, you always have that pretty nice depth of field. If any movie you see the subject is in focus, like here, me will be in focus. Oops. So me will be in focus, and then the rest should, like the background should be like off focus. That is the cinematic look. But for 360 footage, it's just not. Everything is in focus because it's 360 camera. It's a fisheye lens, infinity focus. That is just what it is. Like 360 footage will look like that. But if you want to have that 360 cinematic look, you want the background to be a little bit blurry, but you want people to focus on the subject, which is the thing in front of the camera, close to the camera, which is me and this metal pole. You can add blur on the distant object, but not blur on me and this pole. Before that, you can't do that. Only thing you can do probably just using Mocha VR to like track me and roto me out and add blur separately. You can do that. But with the depth map information now, it's very easy because the depth information is already there. Now you just need to apply blur on the depth map information. So this is how you do that. So again, right now I'm hiding the blur map. Let's just put it below it. And also to rename it, that is my depth map. So I have that right here, and go ahead and go to Effect, go to Camera Lens Blur, drag it, and drop it. Wait, you're not dropping on the depth map, you're dropping actually on the actual stitch footage. You drop it right there, and then if you crank up the blurriness, you see everything right here. Everything is blurry. If you double click, go below. Everything is blurry, but that is not what you want. You just want, like, it also says stitch right here. You just want the background be blurry, but I am in focus. Also make sure to click the repeat edge point pixel right here, so you see that the lines disappear. If you worry about stitch line, make sure to click that. But still, that is not what we want. We want just blur the infinity background, but keep me in focus. So that's how you do it on camera lens blur. Right here, you see the blur map. Go ahead and pick the depth map, and then in source, pick effect and mask. Immediately, you see the background is all blurry out. If you look at that, right here, let's go in and see the background is blurred out. But again, in a practical scenario, you are not gonna blur that much. You probably want to just blur like really like 5%. But why not? I just want to like take a look at the like the whole blur thing is actually working pretty great, because this is the only thing that is close to the camera. The rest is the ocean, which is orb, and the bridge, it should be all blurred out, which is great. So let's just like back down the blur for 5%. So now the blur is pretty subtle. So if you actually like, go ahead and punch it 100%, gonna be really slow. So as you see, the background, like the bridge, this is all in the distance, it's kind of blur, and that's slightly blur. If you see my foot, if you like really zoom in, my foot is actually also a little bit blurry too, from a distance. See, sharper, blurry. So it's actually working. Like the blur is actually based on whatever this depth map is, if you turn it on. So based on this map information, which is great. So it's working. So that's one thing you can utilize the depth map to create that cinematic camera blur on infinity focus 360 footage. And again, this blur actually is left and right together, which is great. As you see here, everything's blurred nicely, so it's actually a stereoscopic blur, which is you will see the disparity in VR goggle, which is great. So second thing is what else you can do with it. Well, I can also maybe like add some object, like fake object behind. Let me just stop this spinning. Behind the close object, but in front of the distant object. So let's do that. Let's just do that. It's interesting. So go ahead and have a layer, new layer, a text layer. Just go ahead and type something here. So I put my name here, but again, because this is not a 360 footage, that actually look weird if you actually see. The text is just right here. So first thing is go ahead and go to, I'm gonna throw in some Mettle magic called VR plane to fear. Throw it into the text, and also tell After Effects this is a stereoscopic footage, and I don't want any feather. And then also it's way too big. So how big is that? You can actually see from here. Just punch it in. That should be good enough. Also, let's change the color into something else that you can actually see. So a giant ugly red. So now I can see, and I also spell my name wrong. Great job, Hugh. Great job, Hugh. Great. As you see, it's right here. It just even make it bigger, so we can actually see even better. Actually, make it bigger from here. So now it's very big in the scene. So now I want the text to be behind me, but in front of the background. So how can you do that? Because this is not actually a 2D object. It's actually very easy. Just go ahead and duplicate. Control D, duplicate the depth map. And this one, I actually gotta review it. It's right there. Move it on top of the text, and just go ahead and pick the track map into lunar map. And as you see, boom, right there. This name, this text is kind of behind me, but it's not fully behind me. It's kind of weird. Like, gotta fade out here. That's just because your map, if you see right here, because that is not truly black, it's just a gray, and that is not truly white. So in order to like extract this to be solid front ground, you can actually play with the slider right here. Let's put it 3. So everything is white, and add some black in there. Let's say 2, 3. Look at here. Now this whole thing is solid right now. So this whole thing is be the front ground, the red is the background, and that's exactly what you need. So now go ahead and hide it, the depth map. Now you see that the text got cut out by the depth map right here, and it's working. Okay, so now you see some problems. The cutout is not exactly around me or around the object. Okay, now this is just the problem of the depth map. It's the Kandao Obsidian output. Hopefully they can fix that in the future release to make the depth map actually like actually review like the object in front, but not leave some like area that is not right. So you can see this area, this should be disappeared. This should be really sharp, cut out for my name. But now, because if you see the depth information is joggy line, so here is actually not straight line. It's just the problem of the depth map, something that Kandao need to fix so we can utilize this better in post-production. But yeah, this is a couple of ways you can use the depth map information to create some interesting special effect. You can animate this text to from like far away all the way flying to the camera and then past me. This like cool effect with stereoscopic footage with the depth map information instead of you need to roto me out. You don't need to do that anymore, which is great. So hopefully this gives you some idea of how you use the depth map output from the brand new Kandao Studio from the Kandao Obsidian SNR or the Go, and hopefully you can create some interesting like use of this information, idea for your music video, for your animation. Again, if you like this video, please give me a thumb up. If you haven't subscribed to me yet, don't forget to subscribe because I will have more tutorials teach you how to use like the Kandao new feature, how to use the Obsidian camera and all the good stuff. So I'll see you next time.